Hello friends, welcome to my finance class. Today we'll learn about understanding formulas and functions in Excel. The power of Microsoft Excel lies in its ability to do math for you. For financial modeling, the basic thing to make our model successful is our calculations, and that's all possible by applying right kind of formulas and functions. So we will learn here what are formulas and functions and how they are helpful to us. This video and my next video covers all the basic functions that you need to know as a financial modeler. In Excel, functions and formulas both help you to calculate your answer. You may hear these two words used interchangeably, but technically they are not same. So what's the difference? A formula is an expression that uses cell references or hard-coded numbers to calculate the value of a cell. For example, if I want to calculate these three numbers, sum, I'll type equal, I'll select this cell, plus, I'll select another cell, plus, and I'll select last cell. I got the answer as 16. This is our addition or sum. Now, if I want to calculate the multiplication of these cells, I can do it like this. So we can find out the multiplication of these three cell numbers. Sometimes a simple formula is all you need to get the right answer, but you can do a lot by using more functions. So a function is a predefined formula already available in Excel. So Excel has more than 400 functions, and every time Microsoft Excel releases a new version of Excel with more functions added into it. Functions, they can do complicated calculations that would be time consuming. For example, if you wanted to add up a range of cells without using a function, you simply need to write, okay, just like I have done it here. I have taken each and every cell separately. But in case of functions, what I'll do here is I'll simply type equal and type the sum function and just select this cell to this cell, and I can easily get the answer as I got it here. So that is the beauty of your function. Now I'll tell you finding the function you need. So if you want to perform a calculation in Excel and you are not sure what the function you want is called, so you have to follow certain steps to find your right function that you need to apply. Now you have to click on the formula tab. It shows you list of functions here. Suppose you want to apply average, insert function. Here the number range is open. You just type 4 to 5, add one more and take 7. You just find out the average. That is your result here. So you have got this result here as average. So this is the way through which we can find out the function and apply in our calculations. Now I'll discuss some most important functions that you should be familiar with. First, I'll move to sum function. Now sum, as the name says, it sum up all the values. So the sum function is used to add a series of numbers. Normally sum is used to add a contiguous range of cells. This whole range of cell where there is no interruption in between, it is the contiguous range of cells. But you can also do it in the case of non-contiguous range of cells. Like here we have in between the breaks. For 6 months first we have find, and then another 6 months we'll find it separate. So this kind of calculation is called as non-contiguous range of cells. So first I'll tell you how to apply sum function in contiguous range of cells. So there are two ways. First, like I simply select this cell and drag it to the last till sum total where I want to find the answer, and just click here on this tab. There you see here this sum function. You just click on this and you got the answer here. This is one way through which you can find out the sum function by directly applying the sum function. Other way is also there, like you just type sum, you select this function, select this range to this range, and we can get the answer as it is. So this is my answer. It is same as it was given in case of, you see, it is same. Now I'll move to how to apply sum function in non-contiguous range of cells. So first simply select these, click sum, then I select this, again click sum, then the third case and again click sum. So I have got all these three values in semi-annual 1. Now for semi-annual 2 also I'll do the same. Select, click on sum, then select and click on sum. So I have got three values again. Now I want sum total. I'll just type sum. I'll select this cell. Now this time I'll write comma and this cell. So I got the answer. Copy this and paste it here and here. You see we have got these two values. We have got these two values. We've got the answer. So this is the way you can apply sum function in your contiguous and non-contiguous range of cells. Now I'll move to maximum and minimum values. The maximum function helps identify the maximum value, and the syntax we used here is same as we used in case of sum function. So first I'll tell you how to use the maximum function values in these 3 years. So for this I simply type here equal maximum. I'll select this range of cells to B20, bracket closed. I've got the answer. So this is the highest level of inventory in the whole year. I copy this, I paste it here also, I paste it here also. I have got highest level of inventory in 2018. I have got highest level of inventory in 2017. So this is my maximum function. Now I'll tell you how to apply minimum function. The minimum function is just the opposite of maximum function. Here we have to calculate the lowest value in the column. So it is also find out by typing then minimum, select this range to H20. We have got the lowest value in 2019. Copy this, paste here and paste here. We have got all the minimum values of these 3 years. Now I'll tell you how to apply maximum and minimum values together. So again here I have the data, and first I'll find out the sum of all by applying the sum function. Then here I will find out first the maximum inventory. It is find out by typing equal, then maximum, selecting this range to this range, then copy, paste, paste. So here I have got maximum value, here I have got maximum value. Now applying minimum value, typing equal minimum January to December, got the value, copy, paste. So I have got the minimum value in 2018, I have got the minimum value in 2017. Now at the end I'll calculate the spread or the difference between maximum and minimum inventory. So this can be done by writing the simple formula equal maximum, selecting again this range to December, minus minimum, selecting again this range to this range, and we've got the answer. So copy this, paste it here, paste it here. So these are the values of our spread. So this way we find out the maximum and minimum values in our data. Now I'll move to average function. So what if you have several hundred cells in a single spreadsheet column, each with a numerical value, and you want to find the average or mean value? So using ordinary formulas, you would have to sum up all the numbers and count the numbers of the rows, and then you divide the sum by the number of rows. But Excel has a very easy way out for applying average function. So in this example, you can quickly and easily calculate the average value. Just type equal average and just select this value to this value. You can get the average of all these numbers. The average function only uses the cells with values. You have to make sure that this is what you intend with your calculation. Now there are some situations like here, you see there is a blank cell and you have to apply the average function. Let's see how it will work. Type equal, then average from here to here. So average function ignores blank cells. So there is a difference in the answer. Because of this, it ignores blank cells. So we should not leave the cell blank. Rather, here I type 0. Now if I type average here and take the values, so again it has considered this 0 value and it gives the right answer. So average function includes this 0 value when calculating the average. That's why this answer is lower than the previous 2 answers. You see here, here and here. So this is the way that how we apply the average function in our calculation. That's all about these functions: sum, maximum and minimum, and average functions. In our next video, I'll take the rest of the functions. So I hope you like my video. Thank you very much for watching the video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe the channel. Thank you.